Did you know the United States is the world's largest oil producer, yet still imports millions of barrels of oil every day? We pump more oil than we consume, so why are we still so dependent on countries like Saudi Arabia? Today, we're breaking down the paradox of American oil, why we can't just use the oil we produce and what that means for our economy and energy future. Oil production versus reserves. The US produces around 21 million barrels of petroleum daily, yet it only consumes about 20 million. So technically we make enough for ourselves, but here's the catch. We only have about 36.5 billion barrels in reserves compared to countries like Venezuela with 302 billion and Saudi Arabia with 267 billion. We produce aggressively thanks to fracking and advanced drilling, but we're not sitting on as much oil long term. Meanwhile, countries like Saudi Arabia intentionally slow their production to keep prices high, since their economies rely heavily on oil exports. The strategic history of US oil. The US didn't always produce this much. During World War I, oil became a critical military resource. Domestic production boomed, especially in Texas, California, and Oklahoma, making the US a global oil superpower. After the war, our growing infrastructure needs, like the highway system pushed by Dwight Eisenhower, further increased our demand for oil. That's when we started importing more and more, especially from the Middle East, which had cheap, easy-to-extract oil and needed a buyer. The rise of OPEC and US oil dependency. In the 1970s, Arab nations punished the US for backing Israel by halting oil exports, triggering a massive energy crisis. That was a wake-up call. The US government responded with efforts like Project Independence, aiming to reduce foreign oil dependence. But even today, we still rely heavily on imports. Why? It's not about quantity, it's about type. Why US refineries can't use US oil? Here's the technical part. American refineries are mostly built to process heavy, sour crude, the kind imported from places like Saudi Arabia and Venezuela. But the oil we produce here, especially from areas like the Permian Basin, is light, sweet crude. It's great for gasoline and sells at a premium internationally, but it's not ideal for our refineries, which means a lot of it gets exported. Upgrading refineries to handle more domestic oil is expensive and hard to justify in an era shifting toward renewables. The fracking factor. Fracking transformed US oil production. It lets us extract oil from tight rock formations that traditional methods couldn't reach, but it's controversial. Fracking uses tons of water, can contaminate drinking supplies, and may even cause earthquakes. Yet it's been a game changer, fueling local economies, especially in states like Ohio and Pennsylvania. Still, fracking isn't invincible. Oil price crashes like the one in 2020 exposed how fragile the business can be. The bottom line, so why does the US export oil while importing it at the same time? Our refineries prefer heavy crude, so we import it. Our domestic oil is light, sweet crude, so we export it. This mismatch makes us reliant on foreign oil, even while being the top producer. Fixing it would mean costly refinery upgrades at a time when clean energy is taking center stage and investors are hesitant to back fossil fuels. In conclusion, the US may be leading the world in oil production, but energy independence is still far from reality. Until we can align our refining infrastructure with our production or fully shift to renewables, this paradox isn't going anywhere. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe for more deep business